Hi guys, welcome back. Before we go on to chapter 3, let's answer your questions from chapter 2. So number 1 from chapter 2, what are 3 places Jack and Annie saw from the treehouse? We know that they saw the Frog Creek Library, the elementary school, and the park. Okay? What kind of book did Annie give Jack? It was a dinosaur book. What was sticking out of the book? A bookmark. Inside Jack's book was a picture of a pteranodon. Number 5, describe Annie's monster. This was a tricky one. You had to listen very closely. It said a giant creature was gliding above the treetops. It had long, weird crest on the back of its head, a skinny beak, and bat-like wings. So I would take all of those if you got them, but that was a toughie. So good for you if you got that. And what did the treehouse started to do? It started to spin, and we will see this as a reoccurring theme throughout this book, the treehouse spinning. Okay, so when we start chapter 3, let's talk about the questions we should be looking for from chapter 3. So number 1, the world outside and the world in the picture were blank. So fill in the blank. Number 2, why did Jack think Annie was nuts? Number 3, what did Jack's book tell him about where they are? And number 4, a new title for this chapter could be A Blast to the Past, New Books, Another Adventure, or Dizzy. Okay, so let's get reading. Chapter 3, Where is Here? Okay. Jack opened his eyes. Sunlight slanted through the window. The treehouse was still high up in a tree, but it wasn't the same treehouse. Where are we? Said Annie. She and Jack looked out the window. The pteranodon was soaring through the sky. The ground was covered with ferns and tall grass. There was a winding stream, a sloping hill, and volcanoes in the distance. I don't know where we are, said Jack. The pteranodon glided down to the base of the tree. It landed on the ground and stood very still. So what just happened to us? Said Annie. Well, said Jack, I was looking at the picture in the book, and you said, wow, I wish we could go to the time of the pteranodons, said Annie. Yeah, and then we saw a pteranodon in the Frog Creek woods, said Jack. Yeah, and then the wind got loud, and the treehouse started spinning, Annie said. And we landed here. And we landed here, said Annie. So that means, said Jack. So that means what? Said Annie. I don't know, said Jack. He shook his head. None of this can be real. Annie looked out the window again. But he's real, she said. He is very real. Jack looked out the window with her again. The pteranodon was standing at the base of the tree like a guard. His wings were spread out on either side of him. Hi, shouted Annie. Shh, said Jack. We're not supposed to be here. But where is here? Said Annie. I don't know, said Jack. Hi, who are you? Annie called to the pteranodon. The creature just looked up at her. Are you nuts? He can't talk, said Jack. But maybe the book can tell us. Jack looked down at the book. He read the words under the picture. This flying reptile lived in the Cretaceous period. It vanished 65 million years ago with the dinosaurs. That's impossible, said Jack. We can't have gone to a time 65 million years ago. Jack, said Annie. He's nice. Nice, said Jack. Yeah, I can tell, said Annie. Let's go down to him. Go down, said Jack. Annie started down the rope ladder. Hey, come back, said Jack. But Annie kept going. Annie, wait, called Jack. Annie dropped to the ground. She stepped boldly up to the ancient creature. Okay, that's the end of chapter 3. Remember your questions, do the best you can, and I will see you for chapter 4.